Well, hello, everyone. This is our first members-only after party for Let's Get Physical Media. Yeah! Well,
Hello,
Dieter, we're back. We are back. We are back. We are back from the grave and ready
putting
to
everything
party.
back together.
Back together again.
Yes.
Here we are. So we're here for a members after party, ladies and gentlemen. This is very exciting. First of all, I want to thank all of you for supporting the Burnettwork at the level that you do. It is much appreciated. It helps us do, obviously, things like, printing a slipcased hardcover book that's going to be very expensive. Looks like I might have to sell some hot toys to finance that, or maybe we'll crowdfund it. But, we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about physical media, brah. And I think we just had a great show, did we not?
I hope so. I hope it had some entertainment value to it.
I think we do have some entertainment value. I think it's.
Are you not entertained?
Are you not entertained? Our favorite line from Gladiator. So, first of all, members, welcome. It looks like we got 9 people here today. We got a lot of people. We got Steve Foley, Black Phillip Alvarez, Cockney Spock, Roberto Suarez, Josh Rosauskis, Brian Hepburn, Steve Foley. What is up? How are you all?
What have you purchased?
Yeah, we don't know. What have we purchased? Everyone's here. Black Phillip Alvarez says he missed the first after party, but this is the first after party we've had here on Let's Get Physical Media. Josh says it was a fantastic show. That's a good. Thank you very much. So, I would say anybody can ask our favorite German from Saarbrücken, Deutschland, any questions they want. Except, let's keep it to the topic at hand. But it is an after party. Although I must say I'm only drinking water. It's an after party. I've been dry. I normally usually have some kind of alcoholic beverage in addition to the water I'm drinking, but not right now. So, I had to do things like order dog food today, but they deliver it, so that's all good. You know how the dogs have. And by the way, Dieter, I should show the folks at home. Whenever Dieter sends me anything from Germany, he does put in these German dog treats. Now, these German dog treats are made so that you're supposed to break off little pieces and hand them. It doesn't work like that. When I open one side, I push out a little. It's like a whole, Jimmy Dean stick. Gilbert or Tallulah just grabs the stick and takes the whole stick and runs off. But I want you to know they're a fiend. Whatever's in these dog treats that you make in Saarbrücken, Deutschland,
I don't
dogs,
know where they are made, Rob.
these are quite the hit here in the Burnett Bell household.
Don't worry. The next package, not that which you pick up from the post office. The next one will have Haribos in it.
Oh, there you
go.
go.
Couldn't fit it in the package that you still have to get from the post. I couldn't fit it in anymore.
I got to tell you, the German Haribo bears have a little bit of a better taste. There's a little bit more
even
flavor.
If the Haribo is nice for keeping the Blu-ray safe. To keep it a little bit as a cushion.
There is no better protection than Haribo gummy bears, man. I mean, that's
definitely.
That's by the way, Elizabeth is here.
Couldn't fit it in anymore.
Martino Sulmoni is here, and he can you see the live chat, Dieter? Are you in the live chat?
No, I don't know where I can get that.
Let me send it to you on if I showed it to you on WhatsApp, can you link to it from WhatsApp?
No, only on WhatsApp. Okay, that will probably.
I can send you the email too, and it'll send you the link. Why don't I do that? I'll just go ahead and send you the link so you can see the live chat and you can answer these questions because
probably everybody knows.
Everybody knows.
I'm not that social media active on every platforms.
Yeah, because you're actually some
but
kind
like
of a
Rob
real
knows,
secret
we
agent.
use WhatsApp everybody, but not in USA. Strangely enough.
Okay, I'm going to send you the link where you should be able to see the live chat. I'm just firing it off to you right now. So join there because Martino just asked a question in German, and you want to answer it. You got to answer it. Martino says, I can't even, I don't even know.
Did you send it by email?
Yeah, I sent you by email. I just sent it to you just now. So link it up there.
So there it is.
No.
Whoop,
there it is.
No, I got a sideshow email and a show link from the show, but I got nothing new.
I just sent you a different one just now. Just now. And you should get it and jump right in. And if not...
wait. Oh, here.
Yeah, there you go.
I've got something.
It's amazing. We can transmit things.
Yeah, I've got something.
We don't have any liquor. I have no liquor. I don't even know her. No, I'm
so now Martino said something in German, you said?
Yes, he did. He did. Dieter, that was I can't even schlecht.
What is the worst German translations of the James Bond series? Actually, the most titles are correct and have the same name as in the original. For Your Eyes Only was one of the exceptions. Octopussy is called Octopussy, GoldenEye is called GoldenEye, Goldfinger is Goldfinger, Thunderball is Feuerball, but that's okay. But For Your Eyes Only is one of the few that really got a really different title. A View to Kill is Im Angesicht des Todes. That's correct, I would say. Die schlechteste Deutsche, the worst I've got on the show was For Your Eyes Only.
Martino, by the way, says the U.S. Food and Drug Administration won't let some nasty European chemicals into its food. U.S. M&Ms taste different and not as good as European, but I get much less pimples from them. Yeah, I don't know about that. I hope not. I hope the dog food's good that you're sending me, but it says premium.
Since I see Elizabeth is watching too, I've ordered my Elizabeth t-shirt.
Oh, yeah. The Elizabeth shirts are great. They're really, really good.
Roberto Suarez got the director's cut of Midsommar. Great. Beautiful set from A24. Have you gotten it?
Yeah,
I've got mine.
I didn't get mine.
It's not too thrilled with the movie, so I don't know if he will get it.
I do. I have the director's cut, but you know what? Again, it's a really great package. It's a really great package, but yeah, I didn't get it. You know, I went to order it. It's really annoying. I have to say the lovely Emma Bannon did offer that if I was going to have a problem getting the Arrow sets, but usually, you know, Zavvi will have the Arrow sets and you can order directly from their website. But again, I don't know if they'll send stuff in America. It depends on, like with Battle Royale, I haven't even looked into the fact whether you can order that and they'll send it here. If not, you'll order it from Zavvi, like, you know.
Yeah. Do it. So, but wait, who told me he ordered from Arrow directly? Was it Black Phillip? Philip, didn't you order from Arrow directly? I don't know. Let's see. What else did we got here? Brian Hepburn, last physical media I have bought for movies was the Friday the 13th and the Gamera box sets. Nice. Brian?
Brian, I gotta say, Brian, I slept on that. You know, I went to go order. I had money, and then I don't have money, and I went to order that Gamera box set, and I really wanted that because it was even better than the Criterion box set, and it was gone. It was out, and then it was already jacked up to like $300 on the secondary market. But luckily, they are releasing all the three different box sets separately. So I guess I'll get that. So.
Okay, Black Phillip, I will revoke your strike, reduce it, because I read that you have seen Leon the Professional by now, and the strike is forgotten, my friend. It's forgotten, but not again. Come out with you haven't seen a movie like this one. But
I have to put we
can't have seen all movies.
I've got a great Leon action figure that I should stick up here. You can see, and I also have a Matilda figure as well.
And for Philip, it's great. He just bought a 4K, so he's already end of the line with Leon. Not like us. It was one of my VHS NTSC tapes from the Rammstein Air Base, where I did first see the when it was just called Professional in the States.
Yeah, I let's see. Steve Marvin asks, how close are we to a DS9 Blu-ray release after Ira Bear's What We Left Behind? I answered this on Star Trek News.
Yeah.
It would take 4 years to do, if you go by Next Generation as an example, it would take 4 years and about $20 million to transfer DS9 to HD to do it properly. And unfortunately, it's probably... I mean, I would think that Paramount Plus would invest the money, but you're looking at an 8-year investment for both DS9 and Voyager. And I mean, I would love them to do it, but I just don't see them doing it. But maybe they'll make that investment eventually. But you're looking, I mean, that'd be like a $40 million investment, and that's a lot of money. But you'd think with streaming services they would do that, but unfortunately, what a bummer. So
yeah. Definitely.
Oh, Roberto Suarez says he found the Batman Beyond Blu-ray set on sale through Amazon. I really want to get that set, and that if it's a Schnäppchen, I'll hit that.
And hit that. And Brian, don't forget about the exchange discs for the Friday the 13th box set.
Yeah.
If you don't already have gotten it, or I don't know if you order it now, if the box set already comes with the exchange discs already.
Yeah. I mean, I got my exchange discs for both the Friday the 13th set and then the Columbia set as well. Which is
don't forget to order Crossroads, Rob.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I got to order Crossroads. I keep forgetting that, and I have to get Synchronic, the new film from the
Benson and Moorhead.
Yeah, Benson and Moorhead. I love their films. I loved Spring. Yeah. I love The Endless. And I loved. I when I watched Endless and the fact that it was a sequel to Resolution, that blew my fucking mind. By the way, has everyone read the spoilers about WandaVision season or episode 6? I mean, it is. You know what? If anybody doubts, I'm not going to say what they are because you can go find them online. But if anybody doubts that the Marvel Cinematic Universe and Kevin Feige don't know what they're doing, they're out of their minds. I mean, I understand it might not be someone's jam, but oh my God, hilarious.
Like Philip asks if he got notifications for the Beastmaster set. Is something wrong that I didn't know about the Beastmaster set? Because I watched the 4K, for me it was fine.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, like we talked about the Beastmaster set.
What's wrong with the Beastmaster set?
I don't know. I haven't heard. I didn't get notifications.
Josh South says Babylon 5, like Europe, looks surprisingly good on HBO Max.
Yeah, it does. It does. Oh, everyone's saying no, do tell. So check it out. Evan Peters is, in fact, Quicksilver in WandaVision. Yes, as in the X-Men's Quicksilver. Does appear in episode 6.
Huge thing.
Wow. Oh, they're sending replacement discs. Wow.
For the Beastmaster? Okay. I haven't got any email.
I haven't either. And I ordered right from Vinegar Syndrome. Maybe. And they're pretty good.
Perhaps your set is already with the new ones. But wait, I forgot. I did heard about that. But since for me the 4K was okay, I didn't know why I would send it back. Or I don't know if it was audio issues or something like that. I don't know about it. Have to get into it. But I didn't get any emails from Vinegar Syndrome that something would be wrong with the set.
Yeah.
Stubble McShave says, Rob, I've gotten you a DVD of a TV movie that I've mentioned at least 3 times through the years. It's on its way to Iowa right now. It's pretty hard to get.
Ooh, I'm excited. I'm excited.
What's he talking about?
I'm not sure.
Of a TV movie that I've mentioned at least 3 times through the Wheel of Time years. I don't know.
That's all I think about. I'm too,
Is it that movie with Portuguese dubbing.
Yeah, is that what that was? By the way, Martino goes on and says, you know what, I probably won't work for CBS on the special features for Deep Space Nine only because I was involved with Axanar and all that business. But I honestly don't know if they would spend the money to do those kinds of special features because that's another huge expense. And Roberto says, is there a definitive 4K version of The Sword and the Sorcerer? No, but I could see that happening.
Not at the moment.
Yeah, not at the moment. It could be there. I don't.
What I forgot to mention on the show, my Swan to Justice from Cynthia Rothrock. I got a liquor number up. I got a Schnapszahl on the.
Oh, you did.
Because it's limited only to 50 pieces, and I've got 33. God, I don't know if where is the limitation? God damn it! Here on the side, but I don't know. I don't know if I can get it into focus. No, it says 33 or 50 from Swan to Justice. Man, this movie was a hoot. Seeing it again, the story. Oh my, oh my. Oh my, oh my. Any thoughts about 4K discs starting to appear with region logging? Bob Shirley asked. I heard about that. Jeff at Films at Home did a video on it. I've heard about it, but I don't know at the moment which 4K discs comes with a region going. This would really be a bummer, but I don't hope it will make it will be the norm that they will start region logging.
Yeah, well, no, they've started. There's a couple of 4Ks that have come out that have been region locked. So
from the US, Rob, I don't know from where.
I'm not sure. I think one of them was Weathering with You was a 4K region lock disc, although I'm not, again, I hope that doesn't become common practice. I think it's pretty much a waste of time, but whatever. I mean, it bums me out. By the way, Anthony Lopez says Vinegar Syndrome is automatically sending out the replacement disc, so that's cool.
Okay.
Cockney Spock says I'm forcing him to buy a bank-breaking Nostromo. Well, I'm not forcing you to do it. I'm just saying you should do it because everybody should have a big Nostromo. And then Kurt Dittmer says his replacement Stinky Tuna Abyss discs Blu-rays arrived at his U.S. mail forwarder. Well, that's good.
Oh, great.
So maybe we'll get those shortly.
Always a theme, Rob. Josh Rosowskis, do you guys think we'll ever get good transfers of the Trek films like we did for The Wrath of Khan, Rob?
I think they will, because with Paramount Plus, they're going to start, if they haven't done them already, and there's been some murmurings and a little forward movement about the director's cut of the motion picture being done. So hopefully that'll happen. I think it will. Bob Shirley also goes on to say, any thoughts about the 4K discs starting to appear with region locking that Jeff at Films at Home did a whole piece on earlier this week? I watched that piece, but again, I mean, it could start happening. I hope it doesn't. I hope it's not the norm. But somebody asks a really good question. Bob Shirley says, if I buy 4K limited editions from Arrow and their special features are on Blu-ray, are those discs region free? They are not. They are not. If you buy a British...
It always depends, of course, on the movie, but normally I would say no.
Yeah. Like, for instance, their 4K disc that they put out was only a British 4K disc of Crash. So the special features and the Blu-ray versions are, in fact, I mean, I have a multi-region player, so I don't care, but they are region locked. The 4Ks aren't, but the special features are region locked. So and a lot of that has to do. I just want to say a lot of that has to do with licensing agreements. For instance, Criterion is licensed to put out Crash in North America. Arrow has it for the UK, and that's why they do region locking, is because unfortunately when movies are sold, they are sold to different territories, region by region. Every country's different, so that's why sometimes you can have, that's why the French do a lot of their own stuff, and that's why Czechoslovakia can do their own special features. So it's different all over the world. Unfortunately, each country, the way the business has always been set up is you sell things to different countries. It's not a global thing. I mean, I think that's starting to change, but yeah.
And Bob Shirley goes on, I'd like to hear both of your recommendations. Best 4K capable players that are region-free for Blu-ray. Just I mentioned on the show, I don't have a region-free player. I have separate players for everything. I have a code B players, and I have a separate code A player, and I have a separate 4K player. So 4K capable players that are region-free, you have to ask Rob about it.
Well, I mean, it really depends, and they're like, ever since Oppo went out of business, or they didn't really go out of business, they just discontinued manufacturing their region-free players. I was a big fan of their players, but for me, I go with Panasonic or Sony or Pioneer for my players, regardless. Sony created the Blu-ray format, so going with them is probably for the best. I'm looking for so if you go in, like, let's say you go to Amazon, which I'm at right now, Panasonic region free Panasonic region free 4K player. What comes up? The Panasonic 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray player with HDR10, HDR10 Plus, and hybrid log gamma playback. I don't know if that has. What you want is Dolby Vision. There's a Sony region free player that's great. It's $400. There's an LG player that's $345. But basically, the LG one looks pretty great. 4K region free. I don't have this one, but it does have 4K. But you want Dolby Vision, and it's $345. Basically, for a region free 4K Blu-ray player, you're looking at around $300 to $400. That's what people are looking into.
Even if you say 4K is the end of the line, it's gotten more complicated, considering HDR, HDR10, Dolby Vision. It's not has gotten easier, considering which player to buy, and so on.
Yeah. By the way, Cockney Spock says that he'll always be grateful to me for turning him on to the last Deckard blaster in the shop. There was an American company selling these Japanese replicas of Rick Deckard's gun from Blade Runner, and they had like they had the last 1,000 pieces, and I was telling people to go there. I put it up on Twitter as well. I couldn't get one myself. I mean, they're gone. Somebody offered. They said, I've got a second one, but they didn't hit me back, so I don't know.
And as always, Chris Stenftenagel, once like Europe, Star Trek the Motion Picture Director's Edition 4K release. How good are the odds? Doesn't a birthday come up for the movie at some point? No.
Well, 79 was the original release date, so the 40th anniversary was 2019, which they missed. And maybe the 45th anniversary. By the way, I have something else that I can drop, some information here. I was going to talk about it on my show today on Raw Observations, but I'll say it here first. So I have my in Hollywood, my new Hollywood guru that I go to, was talking about why Warner Brothers ordered Zack Snyder to reconstruct his Snyder Cut back into one long movie.
Oh, that's interesting, Rob.
Yeah, and
because for me, it's my favorite form. I would rather have it as a movie than for a 1 hour show.
Oh, but it's one of the things that I've been talking about, why the Snyder Cut might not ever happen back in the day, because the talent, the representatives, managers, lawyers, agents, they said, if you're going to turn this into a 4-part miniseries, that means that's 4 different programs. So you have to pay. You have to pay. I mean, it's one thing to make one long movie and release it as one program, but if you're going to release it as 4 episodes, that's 4 payments. So they wanted additional compensation, which makes sense. So now this gave Toby Emmerich, the head of Warner Brothers, the ammunition to thwart what was originally planned. And Toby Emmerich is the head of the studio, and who was there when Zack Snyder was replaced. Toby Emmerich, he would love the Snyder Cut to disappear, or at the very least, disappoint. So Toby Emmerich knows he wants to weasel his way because he knows that the Warner Brothers Studios, as a studio, the future is streaming, and the power over there now resides over at AT&T. Their new people. So that's why the Snyder Cut was turned back into one long movie. So there you go.
Money, money, money.
It's always money. So there you go. Hey, Emma Bannon's here now. Hello, Emma.
Oh, great.
How are you? Emma did offer, by the way, graciously, that if I wasn't able to acquire the Arrow stuff over here, that she would acquire it for me, as she did this. Which, boy, do I love this. But yeah, I can't ask her that. Or I mean, I can, but we can't overstay your welcome.
Kurt Dittmer says, "I love my Oppo 203 region free. It is a tank, and that's why we love Oppo, because they are built like tanks."
Yeah, I mean, my Oppo, it was, again, I hadn't bought a 4K player, and I was going to get the Oppo. I thought I would have a couple months, and they announced that they were discontinuing them, and I was going to go get one, and then they skyrocketed in price. I mean, it's kind of like what happened. I have the last Panasonic. I loved Panasonic plasma TVs because Panasonic bought Pioneer's Kuro, their black technology for their plasmas, and I was a big Panasonic, a big Pioneer disciple, and hence this shirt. But then I bought the last 65-inch plasma that Panasonic made, and it was as soon as they announced they were discontinuing those sets, the remaining sets, they went up to like $7,000 and $8,000, which was insane. And I've been waiting. I really want to buy a Panasonic OLED here, but they don't sell them here. You can get them in Europe, but you can't get them here. And I've noticed that 77. I want to get like an 80-inch. I mean, I don't have a great place for a projector, so I would love to get like a 77-inch or an 80-inch or even bigger OLED set. I mean, they're hideously expensive. They're not affordable. But that's what I want to get. I mean, I would love to get that because I just don't have room for a projector anywhere.
Yep. And I say hi to Emma, who says hi, Rob and Dina. Of course.
Cockney Spock says, Rob is a 4K player. Lifesaver. I ain't PC, I'm the Mac. Sorry.
Don't worry. Roberto Suarez says, I don't understand the outcry by viewers over the Snyder Cut being a 4-hour movie or a 4-part series. It's streaming, so it can be whatever the viewer wants. Okay.
Yeah.
My TV, Joshua Sausko says, my TV doesn't have Dolby Vision, just HDR10. Hopefully I can upgrade one day.
Yeah.
And like I said, it's gotten even more complicated with 4K.
Yeah, Brian says he's still running a
Kuro, Brian.
Oh yeah, he's still running a plasma Kuro in the bedroom. They're Pioneer and Panasonic, but Pioneer's, it's all the electronics. It's not just the screen, because LG still makes all OLED screens now, but it's the zhuzh the companies give to the electronics that make them a little better.
I would really like to know the hours of my plasma TV Panasonic, how much used hours it has on its counter, because it still runs, and I will still keep it as long as it runs.
Yeah.
Before I make the switch to a 4K.
Yep.
Ziggy wants to know Excalibur 4K Blu-ray. When will we get it?
I've heard they're working on one.
Okay.
I wouldn't be surprised if Criterion put that out.
Yeah.
Because, they've got access to the Warner catalog. They did that beautiful transfer. Although if Criterion put it out, we're not going to get it in 4K. And I want it in 4K. Warner Brothers might put that out. I mean, I could see them doing it. Excalibur is definitely an amazing title to have. Because that movie's never looked great. They really need somebody to come in and spend the time to do it properly.
Yep. Steve Marvin says, kind of off topic, but speaking of shipping, anyone know if you are allowed to send alcohol overseas? As said, he can't get Mount Gay rum anymore, and I want to hook him up. I really have no idea about regulations considering shipping alcohol overseas. Rob, do you know anything?
I don't, but with our mail system the way it is, that better be wrapped up really, really well.
Really good. Or your package will smell good. But other than that...
Yeah.
Stubble McShave says, isn't it harder to get an okay for a 4-hour movie rather than 4 one-hour episodes? They got away with 4 hours because they were splitting it. Okay.
No, I don't think so. I mean, on HBO Max, they don't really care if a movie's long. I mean, the extended version of Return of the King is like 4 hours. I think that this is such a special event that it doesn't bother them at all. But the problem is separate programs become separate. You know, you can't, if they're being broadcast as different things, that's I know it's weird, but that's just the way it goes.
Yeah.
By the way, Chris, I can't, Stenfenagel? Is that a German word?
Stenfenagel? So to me, it almost sounds like German.
Yeah. Well, Chris, we talked about 4K releases this week.
Agel?
Yeah. I can't wait to get the final countdown in on 4K. I love the final countdown.
It'd be great.
So
Jamie Cruz, keep holding on to your 3D projector, of course.
Yes.
But considering projectors, they are still most of them have the 3D options at least.
Yeah, and you can always replace the bulb.
Yeah. Keep on to that 3D projector.
Steve Foley asks, hey, Rob, what is the difference shooting in 4K versus 6K? Well, really, honestly, resolution. You know, I mean, for instance, I'll give you an example. Like if you're going to watch something in 2K widescreen, 2K widescreen is 2048 by 858 pixels. That's the resolution of your final image. 4K is and this is widescreen. So you're watching a widescreen 235, 239, a widescreen film. This is the official pixel count. With a movie like Tango Shalom, we finished it in 4K, so it's 4096 by 1716 pixels. And 6K, well, they don't have a 6K widescreen, but it goes up even higher by that kind of margin. But what's great about shooting in 6K, especially live action, especially for someone like if I'm working on a low budget movie, it gives you a lot more leeway to play around with the image. If you want to recompose things, like if you shot open, meaning you're using the entire sensor, and it's kind of like when you shoot Super 35, you have the full negative, and then you could make it into 235 by cropping it. But with a 6K image, you have even more leeway to move things around on the frame and blow into shots, and that's very helpful in post-production. So
okay. So what else? Stubble McShave sent us a cast list of this TV movie. It's got James Mason, Sam Neill, Anthony Andrews, John Rhys Davies, Olivia Hussey, Lisette Anthony, Michael Horton, and Julian Glover. Unfortunately, I can't put it together. What movie are we talking about? What TV movie? Do you know a TV movie?
Well, hang on. Let's see.
James Mason, Sam Neill, Anthony Andrews, John Rhys Davies, Olivia Hussey, Lisette Anthony, Michael Horton, and Julian Glover.
Wait a minute. Hang on a second. The first thing that comes to mind, no, it's not that. I was going to say Salem's Lot, but it's not Salem's Lot. And it's not Jesus of Nazareth. Frankenstein: The True Story, maybe from 1973.
Help us out, Stubble. Don't leave us hanging.
I don't know. I'm very excited to find out now. The Search for Alexander the Great.
Once a great transfer for Top Secret.
George Washington, maybe the TV miniseries. I don't know. I'll have to find out. I don't want to know.
It's a mystery. Stubble.
Yeah.
God damn you. God damn you, man. Anthony Lopez wants our favorite 4K UHD titles. So, once again, for everybody, I don't have a 4K TV. I just have a full HD TV. Still, I keep on to my plasma.
Yeah, I don't have HD. My 4K, it is not true HDR. It's old, and I'm going to replace it because I don't have Dolby Vision and anything like that. But I will say this, I was really impressed with the Blu-ray of The Last Jedi when it came out. It looked great.
Okay.
And Apocalypse Now looks amazing. Mostly the newer stuff, Blade Runner 2049 is The Matrix, Die Hard looks great. Yeah. So I mean, that's the thing. For me, Lawrence of Arabia, the stuff that they released, that Columbia released, is amazing.
I think Siggy has an answer for us. For us, it's called Merlin TV movie. I remember a TV movie, Merlin, with Sam Neill, but I don't know if the other people were in it. But I think Siggy is on the right track with Merlin. Merlin could be. Stubble, give us the answer. Come on. And
Ivanhoe.
Emma Bannon writes, with the 4K release of Gemini Man, did they release
I think it's got to be Ivanhoe. It's got to be Ivanhoe.
Okay.
Yep. It's got to be Ivanhoe.
Ivanhoe. Okay.
Yeah.
Emma Bannon writes, with the 4K release of Gemini Man, did they release it in 60 frames per second? Yes, Emma, they did, because the movie was actually shot with 120 frames per second, but 4K is with 60 frames per second. I know it had 24 frames per second release in the cinema, but seems odd. Actually, it didn't. It only, as far as I know, it did have the 60 frames. If the theater is possible to play 60 frames per second.
Yeah.
But the better question is, Emma, do you like the look of 60 frames per second? This is the question. Do you like it, or do you hate it? Because for me, when I saw The Hobbit back in the day in the theater with 48 frames per second, I felt like I was watching a group playing in front of me.
Yeah,
because everything was totally sharp. The motion was great, but I got a feeling there are some actors playing a theater play here in front of me.
Yeah.
So for me, the look 60 frames is it's tough. After Rob and I have one foot in the grave and have gotten used to film grain and stuff, but 60 frames is a different animal for me, at least.
Yeah, there is an artificiality. I mean, it looks like videotape.
Yeah.
And I mean, part of film is making it look like film. I mean, it has to have, I think when you remove, because it doesn't even look like real life. If it looked like real life the way we see it might be better, but it doesn't look like real life. It looks like there's an artificiality to it. By the way, Emma says that she also bought the Matrix trilogy on 4K. That is an outstanding remaster. The first Matrix looks so much better on 4K than it did on the original Blu-rays, because it looks correct. The Blu-rays were too affected, and that's another great set. All three of those movies look fantastic. Jamie Cruz asks about Masada. I love the Masada miniseries.
Emma corrects me. It had 48 frames in the cinema, considering Gemini Man. But I don't think you won't see that much difference between 60 and 48. I don't know. And Black Phillip Arrow says Gemini Man 60 frames per second looked like a video game cutscene for him.
Yeah.
I wouldn't go that far, but totally on board with Rob that it has some artificial. Something is strangely off. But in combination with the 3D, it worked quite well, I would say, in the theater. So it's a mixed bag.
Yeah, I mean, I don't understand the fascination with it because it like, I think one of the things about cinema is you don't want it to look like real life. You know, you want it, and I think that I understand the photo.
Like you told us the verisimilitude is a movie or a reality movie, something like this. This comparison.
Oh yeah, you know, it's really interesting. Like we were watching because tonight on Elizaviews we're doing
True Grit,
both True Grits, and watching the original True Grit. Like we watched 2 Sergio Leone movies, you know, Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, and Once Upon a Time in the West, and they look like they're shot on location. They look like they're shot in natural light and all that. But you go back and you watch the original True Grit, it's such a studio movie. When the interiors are all on stages and they look like they're shot on stages, and that's fine. But after and more along the lines of Silverado, but it was so great going back and watching those spaghetti westerns that, you know, they were shooting on location. They were building sets out there and shooting out there, and it has a real look. Whereas The Hobbit, to me, when I saw Hobbit in high frame rate, I was actually in Copenhagen when I saw it, and it was very off-putting to see that, because everything that is artificial, like the wigs, the costumes, they all have an extra added layer of that artificiality to them. They don't look, even when you light something, the way the lighting looks, you're not really outside, you're in these controlled environments. So, and then there's a lot of green screen, and it just doesn't, it shatters the verisimilitude for me entirely.
Emma says, or let's say Bob Shirley is finally got his 4K, Kia 4K this week. Gorgeous. Great. Emma said it was an interesting styling choice, but I can't say I liked it. Okay. I personally hated stick to 24 for films and TV. Okay, this was from Josh Rosowskis. The right timing. We're similar to Brian Hebben. I have some ocular issues, and I find it very difficult to watch at 60 frames per second. Okay, strange. Actually, it should make it look easier. I didn't mind the look, Black Phillip, of it. If only it was a better film as well.
Yeah.
And Jamie Cruz totally nails it. The Hobbit at high frame rate made the prop walls look made of styrofoam. That was for me the same when I watched The Hobbit with the high frame rate. The sets felt cheap, but we know they aren't cheap. But they felt that way with the higher frame rate. Luckily, on Blu-ray, that is not the case anymore.
Well, the thing is, the Hobbit movies, they aren't really that expensive. You know, I mean, they're expensive, but they're not. The sets are very handcrafted. Yeah. They're all in New Zealand. They're in Wellington, and so it's problematic. You know, it looks like what it is. Whereas if you take a camera out in nature and you have, whether it's a photochemical process or whether grain is added in post because it's shot digitally, there's, depending on the frame rate, when you shoot, you can shoot video at 24 frames a second. It all comes down to how our eyes perceive things. And the thing about 24 frames is you're still relying on persistence of vision. You know, you're still, it's moving fast enough where our eyes, there's like a blurring of the image. When there is no more blur, you're playing with the way we perceive images, and it's just it's a whole different vibe. And it's not entirely the way we see, so you never recreate. You have that video quality to it. It's strange.
Like Roberto Suarez says, it looks like a soap opera.
Yep.
And Stubble McShave says it looks like a home movie with effects. Okay.
Yeah. And it's a bummer.
Yeah.
So anyway, I just want to point out that
because on the other hand, with the high frame rates, I don't want to trash it completely, because considering the sharpness, it's insane. You could see all the textures on the sniper rifle that Will Smith was using. So it is strange.
Yeah.
Strange.
By the way, I just want to point out.
Great.
I wanted to point out that Martino Simoni sent a very, very generous tip into the show that I didn't see for the real show, but since he's here now, okay, I can tell him, Martino, thank you so much, sir. And Stubble sent in another tip and said, I rewatched The Towering Inferno recently. It's my favorite disaster movie. What are your thoughts on it, and what formats do you have it in?
I believe I don't have The Towering Inferno. I don't believe I have it.
I have it in Blu-ray, and it was nominated for Best Picture. Sure. It was nominated for Best Picture. I think it's a great movie with great acting. Yeah. But, to me, it's good. But I would say that my favorite disaster movie is Independence Day. I mean, I've always said, man, this is the best movie ever made about flying saucers blowing shit up. But I think that... and another one of my favorite disaster movies, but it's not. I'll watch anything with massive, I call it urban destruction. I love watching Godzilla stomp around through cities. I love, 2012 was hilarious. The Day After Tomorrow was great. I mean, I'll watch any. I love Volcano, even though it's a cheese fest. But since I live in LA, you can drive to the locations where Volcano takes place, and I've been past them a million times. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
So, And Martino, thank you again. That was very, very nice of you to support the channel that way.
So Brian Hepburn gave me a strike for what? What did I do, Brian?
You don't have Towering Inferno, brah.
Okay.
You should get it. Towering Inferno's good.
Yeah. I'll wait for the 4K.
I know. Well, that's the whole thing. Going back and getting catalog titles now, I don't want to do it unless they're in 4K.
Shouldn't Towering Inferno then be on HBO Max? Isn't it a Warner title?
Well, I think it's Fox. I think Towering Inferno is Fox, which is a Disney thing, so who knows? Oh, Roberto Suarez says, it's a huge issue for me when people don't set their HD TVs correctly. Man, whenever I go into a bar or a pub and the TVs aren't, I want to throttle the owner. I'm like, give me that goddamn remote and let me fix your damn TV. 60 kilohertz or go home, or megahertz, whatever your TV's running on. I mean, don't give me that motion smoothing bullshit. I hate that. Or the aspect ratio's wrong. Man, I want to kill somebody when I see that. That's one of my...
Many people don't care about that stuff, Rob.
Yeah, and those people are idiots. And those people are the reason why our world is falling into disarray. If you don't care about how your TV is set, I don't want to know you. Go home.
Jamie Cruz says Earthquake with sensor round. I remember the...
Although that movie, man, that movie's a little rough. It's rough.
I remember seeing Battlestar Galactica, but not the first one. It was released here as a movie, but it was a two-parter, I think, for the TV in the US. It came out here as a movie in the theater with sensor round, and I came out of that movie.
I saw Battlestar Galactica and sensor round.
I saw that one too, but I came out with a heavy headache, I must say, after seeing that in sensor round.
No, it's great. By the way, Bob Shirley says, speaking of volcanoes, Rob, do you think we'll ever see a good HDR 4K release of Joe versus the Volcano? Bruh, it just came out on Blu-ray. I couldn't believe it. Warner Premiere released that, and I doubt it. I doubt we'll see a 4K release. Although not on physical media, it might show up on 4K on HBO Max. But yeah, what are you gonna do? And Chris Stephan Toggle. Chris says he watched the Criterion War of the Worlds. It's amazing. The original Criterion War of the Worlds is amazing. It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Great. So guys,
I know we're almost out. This show is almost over. We've been on for an hour, almost 50 minutes.
Okay, physical media. There's always stuff to talk about.
There is always stuff to talk about. Stubble McShave says the verisimilitude went out the door for the Hobbit when they floated on molten gold, sitting on a metal shield. That would have been fried within 5 seconds. It's true. There's that was my problem with the Hobbit. I had a hard time buying into a lot of it. There's a lot of goofiness.
Yeah.
Roberto Suarez says high frame rates have their place. I think it works for sports. I agree, or for theatrical performances. Totally. I agree for that 100%, and that's because they're real. You know, they're real things. I totally agree. So yeah. Bob Shirley says, I just got the Joe Blu-ray myself. I doubt a 4K release either, sadly. One of my holy grail soundtrack wants. Ooh, I should look into that. If there's one thing I can get, it's unreleased soundtracks. I'll send the feelers out. Send me an email to remind me. But I'll see. So. But yeah. Anyway. So there you go. What more can I say? I have to go do observations in a half an hour. In 40 minutes.
So I would say we jump off for right now.
Our little after parties are good. These are good. We're going to be doing more of these. And
thank you all for being here.
Yeah, thank you all for being here. This was a fun after party to do. I want to thank you all, of course, for being members of the channel. And we're going to be doing more of these things. And I think we should have after parties more planned, where we can have people send in. I mean, this is kind of a spur of the moment thing, and we'll have questions, and you guys can send in questions, and we'll answer things. So we could do some research and get some visual aids and things like that before we do these. So Martino Simoni says, when time ran out in 4K. I don't know if the world needs that. Do we? Do we need when time ran out? We could. We'll see. So anyway,
tuning in.
Yeah, thanks for tuning in, and this was a lot of fun. So this was a great after party. I want to thank you all for being here. Thanks for being members of this channel and subscribing and all of that. That is fantastic, and we'll be doing a lot more of these because they're fun and they seem to go very, very quickly. And so,
time flies when you're having fun.
When we're having fun, and yeah, absolutely. So. For all of you members of the Post-Geek Singularity, members of the Burnettwork, thank you very much. And I'm Robert Meyer Burnett, and who are you?
I'm Dieter Bastian from Saarbrücken, Deutschland.
Can you swear? Can you say some swear words in German? Can you say something
Arschloch.
Really? Oh, come on.
Asshole, Arschloch.
Can't you say fuck you, you goddamn motherfucker?
In German?
Yeah. Is that what you'd say in German? Isn't there a German swear word that only Germans have, that there's no equivalent anywhere else? Like the French say merde for shit, but is there some
ferme ta gueule, shut up in French. In French,
shut up is a swear word.
Ferme ta gueule, but how can you cannot swear in French? It's too melodic.
It is too melodic.
Ferme ta gueule. It means shut up, halt's Maul. But it's way too melodic. You can't swear in
but
French.
Germans, you have such a coarse language. Can't you throw us?
It's a special German swear word. You've given me another homework, Rob, to think about.
Okay, because I expect. I mean, I think one of the joys of this show is learning German, and I want to get some real powerful swear words out there.
Yeah, that's always the first thing you learn. I think swearing in another language.
Well,
but we'll have to think of a special German swear word. God damn it, Rob. I have to do homework.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, kind souls, gentle beings, however you identify across these 28 known galaxies, we will bid you adieu.